Hello,
Uh,
hello, great to see you.
uh,
I'm like, hold on, we got to get the energy going in here. We got to do this the right way, right? Because that's what this is about, is serving people, bringing the energy. It's not just the strategy, it's the energy and the strategy together. Sherry, it's great to see you. Hey, Pan, great to see you too. And
Good to
Brittany,
see you.
Tara, Jeff, and Jay, awesome to see you too, my friend. Awesome.
awesome.
I'm excited for a couple weeks.
Yes. Brittany's coming to the event. That's super exciting. If you guys don't know, we're having a soul message mastery event in Orlando, Florida. That's going to be so powerful. We might talk a little bit more about it later, but this is really about you guys. So freaking awesome.
Soul purpose mentor for male entrepreneurs. Yes.
Hell yeah.
I loved our conversation that we've had. I feel like it's been so long since we've seen you. It's just
It was the last podcast we launched.
ah,
We're gonna be launching another one.
there
So
we go.
awesome. Well, let's get rolling. So like I said, this is gonna be a little bit, but we're probably gonna throw in. So who is this for? This is for the coach that is called to make a deep impact on the world. Who is it not for? Somebody that's just out to make money. Let me do this. I'm gonna go live in the group. I think we can still go live in the group. I've seen people do it, so so we'll see what's going on. I'm curious on what had you want to come and what let's set an
I was
intention.
actually gonna say, let's set an intention. Like if you could walk away from this meeting, like having this one thing, what would that be? There is a wise ask and you shall receive, right? So when you get clear on like what is it that I'm really out for? Like what could I get that would serve me at the highest level? Maybe even taking it to, not even maybe, like just taking a couple breaths in and just really getting centered into your heart space, really getting grounded, getting some water. Hydration is important.
Indeed. Let's make sure that let's okay, cool, we're live. Also, I'm gonna drop a comment or a thing in the comments that all right, cool, we have some people in the group.
Hello, if you are seeing us live in the group, come join us on Zoom.
I would love to know how to spell your name or pronounce your name. Is it Sarah? Sarah? Love to have you on Zoom. I'm going to see if I can find the link and I can drop it on the. What's up, Afia?
Afia in the house. Girl, you look beautiful. All right, I gotta say, Afia is my best friend, so.
You look beautiful.
No, you look more beautiful.
No, you.
All right, so as Chad is doing that, I really want to be in this conversation of growing and scaling your coaching business and really discovering for yourself. Ultimately, we talk about these 9 activators within your business, which is going to, when you have these all activated, you're able to. I'm about not just growing, not just scaling, but doing it in a way that's really in alignment to who you are. Being able to be like we said, take this breath, get your water, like doing this in a way that you are grounded within yourself. You are a steady rock, right? Because it takes something as we're coaching. We have the energy that we're delivering our clients. We have this energy of creating content and getting out there in the world and showing up. Maybe you have a podcast, maybe you're creating content every day, maybe you have a lot of clients, maybe you don't have enough clients, right? So whatever that is, I really want to create today, and my intention for today is for you to discover some of the missing pieces in your business, and then what are some powerful steps forward that you can take. So
yeah. So for the people that don't know us, I'm curious, who here has been around and has came to something like this before. We've never had anything like this, but in the sense of a live event, yeah, Pan definitely, Sherry definitely, I think Tara Lee has been here a few times. And so let us know, are you new, or are you been here for a bit? And so
Here to find out the 9 activators.
awesome.
Beautiful.
Never heard of us before. Yes, 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 yes. So the quick story is in 2017, Hallie started and I started working together. We started an agency and we were starting to get some clients, and we were like, you know what, let's go nomadic. And let's, the whole laptop lifestyle situation went nomadic, and we quickly ran out of money. And we had a good friend that is our accountant that we called, and she was like, come live with me, because we wanted to live in Florida. Hey, Jasmina, long time no chat. And so we went and lived with our accountant, and so her grandson was living with her. He got moved from his bedroom to the couch, and we got the 13-year-old stinky bedroom. And that was interesting, right? And we are grateful, and I remember just hustling our faces off trying to get clients. And I remember going to an event there that we'd already paid for, so we didn't have to pay for it, but it was all around integrity, and not integrity as morality, integrity as being your word. And one of the things they said was, is if you're out of integrity, your life doesn't work. And so we ended up going to this event, and it changed our life. We ended up getting in communication with all these places that we were out of integrity. So it's like really about being integrity and creating things that would work. And we're like, we basically made a bunch of calls and said, we don't got any money, but as soon as we do have money, we'll pay you. And so
Power of communication.
yeah, and literally 5 days later, we landed our first $2,000 client, and then a $3,000 client, and then we get a call from one of our friends. She's like, "Hey, I have a friend here that is looking for a funnel, and could you do it for $12,000?" We're like, I think we could make that happen. And so we took that client on, and then we're just like, we're getting, and then another one, $10,000 and $13,000, and like it was like a little bit shy of $40,000 that month from that. And the challenge is then now the delivery. So I could go out and still sell and have conversations, but Holly is now delivering for all these clients. And I remember watching her, and she's like leaning against a wall, and all of a sudden she just slid down the wall and started convulsing. And like, I don't know what to do. I think I might have needed to give mouth to mouth at that time, but ultimately called 911. The came and then basically yeah, took us to the hospital, accused us of being drug addicts, and that all we wanted was drugs. And then we're like, you know what, we need to figure out how to solve this issue holistically. I don't want to deal with doctors anymore. And so now, being super responsible adults at the time, instead of going somewhere where we had security, we're like, you know what, we got all this money now. We paid back all the people, still had a bunch of money left, and said, let's go live on the beach. And so we're like attempting to fix the health stuff and fix our business, because we're not in a situation like we can't get any new clients because we're kind of capped. And I remember the one client that gave us a referral for $12,000 called us and said, hey, would you come and sponsor this event in California? It's going to be super awesome. Come sponsor it. It's gonna be a great way of you guys getting clients. And we're like, no, we don't want to go. But she like convinced us, and we ended up going. And I remember the theme of the event changed our life. And it's interesting, it's like when sometimes you have resistance of doing the thing that you know is going to make the biggest impact in your life. And I remember getting there, and he said something, and he said, and maybe this will be impactful for you. He said, do what you love in the service of people that love what you do. So up until that period of time, we were dealing with everyone. I don't know if you want to talk about that.
Oh, that's good.
Knee pain doctors, roofing, gutter cleaners, chiropractors, anybody that would pay us a check, we would work.
You need a funnel, I got you. You need a funnel, I got
You
you.
need
You need systems,
systems.
I got you.
Yeah. And so, it was interesting. It was like, if you've ever been in any marketing, and I'm curious who's here been in marketing programs and they teach you how to create your avatar. And one of the things they talk about, at least the marketing programs that we've been in, they say two things. Who can you make the easiest impact with? And who actually has the money to pay you? And that's cool to a point, but then so you're serving a bunch of people that suck and that you don't necessarily
Maybe.
yeah, maybe, right? But there's no intentionality around working with people that are amazing. And so when we created the assessment of like, okay, not just the people that you can make the biggest impact with, not just the people that have the money to pay you, but do what you love in the service of people that love what you do at the same time. So it's all three of those. That changed our life forever. And I remember being at that event, and we got really clear is the person that referred, like she was also a client, kind of. She didn't really follow through in the work. Anyway, she's a great person, but not our ideal person. She was a publicist. And we had another person come that was a friend, and she was a neural performance coach. And I remember just seeing what this lady does and how passionate it was and how fired up she was and like the impact that she was out to make. We're like, we want more of those. We're like, how can we work with more coaches that are making a deep impact with their clients?
I think there was a calling in, not I think, there was a calling within us as well too. So I, was certified in belief therapy. I did actually a lot of ministry work in like completely for free at that point. Like back in 2010, I was an ordained minister and I just worked in ministry, and I had this belief that like you can't do spiritual things and really help people and get paid at the same time. Like I had that belief system. So I went into marketing, and like my coaching and my helping people was like my side, just who I was, right? And so, and I know Chad too, that was something that brought us together, was our vision and our passion for transformation. So we've gone through a lot of like Landmark Worldwide and a lot of development and leadership and type stuff together, and that was something that we were just really passionate about, is this space of transformation. And so this conversation of do what you love in the service of people who love what you do, I just want to say it is April 4th at 4:44 our time, so 4:444444. So anyways, we just want to pop that out there that's a thing.
I don't know if it's a filter, but my hair looks amazing.
You just
look
look amazing.
It's weird.
So from that point on, and I want to really condense this because I want
Yeah.
to make sure this is about you and what you get. And so we really put our flag in the sand, so to speak, while we were living at the beach of, you know what, it's coaches. Like I want to give our gifts to the people who are going to take them and they're going to go make an impact with other people. I'm out for the ripple effect in the world.
Yep.
And we truly believe that coaches are the driving force of transformation. And we're in a world more and more, we've been working with coaches for over 6-7 years now, and we are in a space. And as humanity evolves and how the world is doing all the things that the world is doing, coaches now more than ever. I love that coaching, like everyone. I'm not one of the bash coaching people. I'm the like, heck yeah, you want to be a coach? Like, let's get you trained up. Let's get you like, let's go. We need coaches in this world because coaches are the driving force of transformation, and this world freaking needs it. And I'm passionate about our industry. I'm passionate about transformation and what it is that we do. We came from a space and what we're going to do, and how the reason why we're sharing this all with you is so that you understand that these 9 activators that we're going to share with you today, they didn't come from a like, oh, we just watched this video and this sounds great, right? We didn't just pick out what other people are saying. We have lived it. We've experienced it. We've been in the trenches. We've worked with hundreds of people, and we went through a lot of crap to be able to get this. And I'm super grateful for all of it.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So we finally do a smart thing, and we're like, you know what? We're gonna move in with my mom and work on Holly's health holistically. We're living in my mom's house. I remember coming back in from hanging out with some friends, and she was still mid seizure. And So this we didn't figure out this. So I'm like dumping CBD down her throat, giving her mouth to mouth, giving doing all the electrolytes and trying to get her to come out. And I remember when she finally came out and she said, it like just dropped, my stomach just dropped. It was like who are you and where are we? And she didn't know that she had kids. She didn't know what we did for a living. She didn't know any of it. And I remember going, I don't know what we're gonna do. And we could have like literally quit at that point and like just, okay, I'll get a job and we'll just work on her health or whatever. And I remember she made a post on social media like, hey, this is what happened. No memories. If I've ever made an impact with you, let me know. And so she had like hundreds of comments. She's like, you know what? I need to get back into my business or into our business.
I didn't know much, but what I did know is that I was here for a purpose and I was here to it sounds so crazy when I say it out loud, but I'm just gonna own it. But like at that time, I genuinely felt that I was here to shift the conscious of humanity. That's all I knew. I didn't know nothing else.
Yeah.
Right. And so when I saw all of those people and what they had said, I'm like, I need to do this. I like let's do it. And so I literally went through our entire business. We were building a webinar at that time. So I started going through these pictures and going through the slides and looking at this client and looking at this client and like, what did they do? I became that conspiracy. Like, you ever see that meme where they're like, this string is over here, where this is over here, which is over here. And I just like went like whiteboard crazy. And we mapped out all of these things, that what it really took. And we've refined these over the years. And so if you think you've seen this model before, if you've been to any of our stuff, I'm telling you that we have even refined it even more, because we are out to always grow. We're out to evolve. We're out to really ultimately be the best within ourselves. And then how can we support our clients even more? So these 9 activators that we're going to share with you today have evolved over the years through trial and error, through being in the trenches, and through just working with a lot of people and seeing what people have needed and what they haven't needed. So did I miss anything? Or with that,
no,
you guys want to see
who wants to see the 9 activators and everything? Let's get some comments down in the chat.
And as we show you this today, if you don't have a pen and a paper, I really want to encourage that when you're in this, I want this to be more than just something that you are watching, but really be in this and in discovery for yourself. Because when you can be in it in yourself and engaging through the process, you're going to get a lot more. I could tell you what they are. Like, we're going to tell you all of the activators, but I really want you to be in discovery of like, which one of these apply to me and what it is that I need. Because ultimately, when you have these activators, these are what's going to get you to the multi 6-figure to the 7-figure spaces, right? So if you're out to really, you have a vision, you have a calling. If you want to, I can talk while you're doing this. You have a vision and you have a calling in this world. And I truly believe that coaching is a calling. Hey, you got options to whiteboard.
They freaking listen to me.
We are not a fan of the new whiteboards. So if I truly genuinely believe that if you are a coach, that this is the calling. If this isn't like people don't
No.
The people who have wanted, oh, it's not full classic.
I just keep going.
Okay. The people who
here
are
we go.
like, oh, coaching sounds great. You can make a lot of money from this. Typically what I've seen, because we've been in this industry for so long, they don't last long. And it's not really who we're called to serve. So ultimately, like, these are your greatest heart is to fulfill on the calling that you have within you. Right. And maybe you've heard the call before and you're like, yeah, no, I don't think I can do that. And it keeps coming back because that doesn't go away. It is something within your heart, mind, and soul when you are a coach. And so how we fulfill on that calling, when we have that, like, things what that looks like is really having the freedom, right? Being able to, if you want to go on the beach, if you want to go to San Diego, if you want to, do what it is, like, you get to say, right? You're in charge. You have to say.
Yeah, because it's like if you're like locked down to a desk and you can't go places and you can't have fun and you can't have the freedom to time freedom, locational freedom, all of that. Is that really like you could be fulfilling your calling, but is it going to work for you, right? Like, is that gonna, and then the next is really the impact of really being able to make, which is why we're here, right? It's really making that impact. And then third being wealth. If we don't have wealth, it's like we're broke trying to like get clients and like it's really challenging to build like to make an impact with people when you're also trying to get money from them, and it's like it doesn't come from a good position, right?
And the more wealth that we create, we can be a contribution. Like, so we're going to talk a lot about like cellular alignment and aligning yourself at a cellular level. But I've literally done the work of like when people pay me money, the world is a better place. Like we support a ministry called Souls by Grace. So when we make money, kids get shoes. When we make money, sex traffic victims in their aftercare are supported, right? So you can make a bigger difference. Oh, my whole body just got them chills. Like you can make a bigger difference when you're building that wealth. And I truly believe that part of your calling is to build the wealth so that we can make a contribution on a much deeper and larger level than ourselves. So in order to do that online, it's going to take a few things. So the first thing, and while we go through these, I want you to rate yourself on a scale of like red being, nope, don't have that one, yellow being, okay, I kind of got that, and green being like, yes, I have it. So really the three areas we're going to go through is the attract, enroll, and the performance piece.
Yeah.
Let's start with the attract.
So what I really want to do, and I want to talk about this, is like one of the reasons like I can handle a lot more hustle and grinding and this and that, but definitely don't love it, right? But like the thing was is like we were creating systems and we were creating these client attraction processes for people, but we didn't have it for ourselves. I had to still go like hunt for clients and then hope somebody is going to refer somebody. And so if you're like if you're like, oh, like the only system that I have or the only process I have for clients is like go hustle and grind for clients or hope that somebody refers somebody or that like hope my marketing like some sort of post hits enough. Like if you're not intentional and like have a process that brings people from cold to enrolled, like you're really not setting yourself up powerfully. So
Yeah, so just a communication part of our freedom is we are parents, and value that we have is family is everything, right? We don't sacrifice our business for our family and we don't sacrifice our family for our business. It goes both ways. So Charlie is our CCO. She is going to be 4 in just like next week. I can't believe it, but she's our chief cuteness officer and she's definitely around. So next thing.
wait, no. I think we. Yeah, well, so this is the thing. So you take a look at on a green, meaning I have a very like very systematic process to attract and build my audience and connect with new people. So that would be green. So and then you're assessing your situation, and then if you want to comment it in the chat so we can just kind of know where you're at, and then we can answer questions around those things and be more intentional about helping those specific things. So green is your very intentional process to move people from cold to enrolled.
I would even add in there, like, you know what you need to be doing on a daily basis.
Yep. And yellow is like it's like periodically. It's like sometimes marketing hits and a client comes through. Sometimes something works and you get a client. Like it's not consistent. You don't have a consistent flow of new people. You don't have a consistent flow of people that are looking to solve the thing. So go ahead and comment in the messenger or in the chat where you are on really having that system.
I love it. Super cool.
And then red is like you're basically hoping you're hunting. Was yellow, now I'm red. Got it. That will happen. Um, while everybody else comments, the next one is really a movement. It's really so, and this might not be you, right? But it's like community movement. But it's a lot of our clients that come, they're really out to build a movement. They're really out to,
Can I jump in here?
yes.
So when you have a movement, it becomes bigger than yourself, right? And when you have a calling and a big vision in the world, there are so many people online that are, we're coaches or branding themselves. I'm all for it, right? And you find your people, right? Like, and when you think about a movement, like what is a movement? What is it? It stands for something, and it stands for something that other people want to be a part of. Right. So how can you create a movement for yourself and your people that's bigger than just your coaching? Right. We worked with a client once where she was like, her soul gift was creating a movement, and she was a gut health coach, actually. So, she came in, like her business was okay. It was doing around 3K a month. And she was like, I have a Facebook group, but here's the thing, like, who cares about a Facebook group? Really, let's be real. Like, ain't nobody care about a Facebook group. However, when we shifted her messaging, her mindset, and how she ran her Facebook group, her movement was around women who were a stand for their health and their families. And when these other women caught the grasp of like, I'm a stand for my health so that I can be there for my family, her whole energy of her group changed.
Yeah, because well, the thing is she hated the idea of marketing. She hated doing the work, right? And when we could shift it from like we're gonna do marketing to we're
market in Facebook groups, who's down? Yeah.
to creating a movement and like really speaking the vision of what they have for this thing for this movement, and it became a completely different thing for her. So that was powerful.
Yeah. So if you're rating yourself, like, do you feel like, well, for one, green would be like, you have this movement, you're clear on what your people want, you know what you're a stand for. Like, so when we say movement, and I just want to kind of include some of the things that we did in this, we talked about our value is our family. Like, we don't sacrifice our family for business. We don't, and vice versa. That matters to us. We talked about integrity. Our movement is around integrity and being your word and doing the things that you say that you're going to do. No morality there. Our movement is around that we believe that coaches are the blah, blah. We believe that coaches are the driving force of transformation in a world that needs it. Those are all part of our movement and why people are a part of our community and Coaches for Transformation. It's not just about Holly and Chad. It's about the big picture of like, we're coaches and we get to step up into our power, and we're not sacrificing our family or our business. We're building the wealth that we're called to make. We're here to make an impact with people and lift each other up. We're here to be the buffalo. We have another thing that we say a lot. It's like to be the buffalo. Being the buffalo means you're looking at the resistance, you're facing it head on, and we'll talk about that more in the performance piece. So think about.
Yeah, I just want to answer. Tara is like, I'm not coaching anymore, but women are, you're guiding them through their health journey on a 20-day reset. That might not be one-on-one coaching, right? But that is it is coaching, right? It's still like, I don't know how you're delivering it, but you're guiding them through and you're supporting them in their journey. So it's like you might not, because it's not one-on-one, doesn't mean that it, or doesn't it doesn't mean that it's not coaching. So
And in this conversation of a movement of getting, why would someone go through the cleanse?
yeah.
What's the purpose of it? What is it that they're out for in their life, and creating a movement and a community around those things.
Yep. So the next one is amplify visibility. And this is like really creating a system around your visibility. So this is, we've had a short, like I don't know if you guys, anybody's seen Holly's shorts lately, freaking hilarious. I'm creating some too. We're getting on all kinds. We have a system to get us on podcasts. We have, it's an exponential visibility strategy. So putting a system behind it, because there's like, all right, I'm going to be on a podcast, but if you don't have a system around it, it's going to suck, right? Because it's like you need, well, one, like if you're manually reaching out to everybody and then you're filling out the forms and you're sending them over your headshot and all the things like that,
Anybody
for
has time
me,
for
that's freaking sucks, right? So we have a team member that reaches out, and his whole job is get us on podcasts, and we only pay him when he gets us on podcasts. So and then the reel strategy of being able to take reels and then spread them all over the place, and being able to have that structure, and then being able to have a group structure where you have a structure where you're posting in different groups and asking questions and adding value in different groups. These are really just amplifying your visibility and putting a system around it.
So as a coach, we can only get so far with, just being on Facebook, or, I hear it so often. What is it that you need? I just need to get in front of more people.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I just need more people. Give me the people. How can I get in front of more people? Right. So when you are green, you have this huge, massive audience. You have the systems that are getting you out there. You have this omnipresence about you. People know who you are. You're out there. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you're there. You're doing it. High five. Green. If you're a yellow, you're like, yeah, I get on a couple podcasts. I really don't like. My following is pretty good. My following is growing, right? Because ultimately you want new people in all the time. It's like you always want to, we work in these pockets of like cold people who don't know you. How many cold people who don't know you are coming into your world on a daily basis? How many, are you doing something that is nurturing for the warm people? Like there's pretty much everyone on here, probably pretty warm. If you're not, now you are.
Yeah.
So are you yellow? Like, yeah, kind of doing this. Like I have an audience. I'm bringing people in on a daily basis. Or are you red? Like, I don't have any systems. Like, I would love to get in front of more people. Like, how do I even do that? What's the best way? Tell me more. So let us know. Do you feel like you are red, you are yellow, or are you green in your visibility? And then as we go through this more, you can attract all of the people, you can have all of the systems. We have even seen people who've had millions, it's crazy, millions of followers. I have millions of followers on TikTok, or I have 50,000 followers on TikTok. However, they don't have the enrollment systems. And so I literally saw someone who had like 2.3 million followers on Instagram, and she did a video about how she's only making $300 a month. Like,
Yeah, there was somebody that did they had a huge following on TikTok or Instagram, one of those, and they did a meetup
oh, I remember that. Like
nobody showed up, which is crazy. Which means it's like you just have surface level connections. You don't have real people in your audience, and so
So you can have all, Jeff, I hope your wife is okay, sending prayers to her. So you can have all of the audience. That's not the whole piece of this. So ultimately, you also have to have this enrollment piece. And so let's talk about the enrollment piece for a little bit. I love how you spelled true. It's on brand. So our True North program, this is really your True North program. It's really about how you structure your coaching business, right? Some people, and there's no right or wrong here. I really think that this is where you're at in your coaching business. If you're brand new, if you've had a lot of clients, like how you structure your business. We've worked with all of them. I think there's power in one-on-one. We take on a few one-on-one clients, and I think there's power in group. I think there's power in hybrid, but ultimately what is the most important is having the structure that you can continue taking on clients where you're not opening the doors and shutting the doors and opening the doors and then shutting the doors. And there's the space in between. And burnout is a real thing, right? Like we talked about the seizures and stuff. This is something that we are very intentional. Like I am not out for anyone to burn out or sacrifice their health. This is part of our movement. You will not sacrifice your health working and building your business. That doesn't work, right? So being able to structure your programs in a way that you can take on a lot of clients and it's not going to burn you out. and they're still getting an exceptional result because the results matter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it makes it so if you're green, you have a program that can handle a bunch of clients. You can charge a bunch of money for it because the offer is so strong, and it still feels intimate. You still have a connection with your people. It's not it's not distance. There's a lot of coaches out there that they create these programs where it's like super far, like arms reach. Like we believe that, we want to have connection. We care about the results that our clients get. Now, that might not be scalable after a while, but that's what we're doing. So rate, that's green. Now yellow would be maybe you have a one-on-one program that is like packaged, so you're charging a bunch, and then you can get a good amount of money, and then you can handle a decent amount of them. You're not doing, and red is like really like per session. You have to have so many clients to actually make any money. We had one client, I remember she had, I think it was like 40 some one-on-one clients, and she was so resistant to launching her group program. And
She didn't want to lose the transformation. Like, I do work that I can't be in a group program. It's got to be one-on-one. And so that was a big thing for her.
Yeah, and then it was like after she left, like she actually went and launched something, and I'm doing like 20 some thousand dollars in her group program launch. And it was really powerful. So and we've had several people like that. That was the first one that came up. So that is so rate yourself there, drop it in the chat.
And this next piece is the empowered enrollment pathway. Right, so we talk about the marketing systems to attract and being able to create your content and, the cold, the warm, and the hot, building the movement, being able to increase your visibility. However, the enrollment system is really a system of, as people go through this, it kind of transfers into the attraction system, into the enrollment system. And this is really through like having the proper qualifications. We believe in conversations. However, we don't believe in like, you get a call, you get a call, you get a call, you get a call. I'm just going to get on as many calls as I possibly can, and I hope someone becomes a client.
No coffee chats.
No coffee chats, no free breakthrough sessions. Like, there's a lot of people are like, yeah, I can book calls all day. Well, I don't want you to be on calls all day. I want you to talk to the people who are already a fit and they know you already. And it's pretty much just a conversation. And ultimately, they're selling themselves or selling you on why they need to be a part of your program. It's a completely different switch.
Yeah, so it's really this. Is like, I'm curious who here has a pretty large following, and you get like a ton of engagement, but they're not really turning into clients. I'm curious if anybody has that going on. Because ultimately it's how do you take people from engager to like, I'm interested in what you do, to connection, to qualification, to like actually getting on a call and really having them sell you instead of you selling them. The worst thing ever is to freaking get on a call and somebody's like, well, tell me how you do things. Tell me how you can help me. I'm like, yeah. So you got to go watch the stuff, right? Go watch the content so you know how we can help. Like, there should be no point in time where you're on calls with them not having a clear idea of how you can help. So green is well, I guess that would be the thing. So you have a process where you get on calls with people and they're selling you on why they need to be a client. They're a very clear process from engage to call, and it's very structured out. So that it would be green. Yellow would be, it's like kind of haphazardly, right? Like sometimes you can move people from engager to conversation, but you don't have a process like a conversation structure to qualify, and your calls are not set up properly where you're positioned as the authority and like they're coming to you to solve a problem. And then red is like you're having to prove yourself. You're having to Like, we're going to do a breakthrough session, or I'm going to do a coffee chat and hope to convert this person from coffee chat connection to client. Like, no, thank you.
I'm all for coffee.
I am not for coffee. So yeah. So that would be, so go ahead and rate yourself in the comments. Allergic to coffee. Wow.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, that's good. No, that's a back and forth thing with coffee. It depends on the research that you do.
Yep.
All right. The next piece is the client success, right? You can have all the attraction, you can enroll the clients, all of the things, but ultimately, like, we want our clients to have the most successful experience.
Yeah. So green looks like this, because people get this like mixed up, right? In the sense of, you can have amazing results with your clients, but if they don't keep going, coming back and like ascend to the next program, if you have another program, or they're like sticking around, then you're not actually green, right? Because you can get amazing results for clients, but for some reason they're not sticking around. And I'll give the tip on that is like, a lot of people, they join your program for a very specific thing, and you solve that problem, but then you never move on to what the next thing that you can help them with is. And so it's really constantly assessing what the next thing is, because they might have came in for a very surface level thing, and then now we've gotten deeper, and how can we go deeper into this conversation and have them, stick around. So green is people stick around and they are always resigning or moving on to a higher program if you have higher programs. Yellow is maybe you get amazing results, and they get amazing results. So maybe they get amazing results, but they like leave you. They're just like one and done in. Or they stick around, but they're like, or maybe they don't, like they're just not getting the most amazing results, or you're not attracting the right clients, so they're just like complaining, and they don't, the right expectations aren't there.
Or they're looking at you as like a savior.
Oh yeah, that's another thing. That's something that we if you feel like we are like a savior and we're gonna like somehow like
Save your life,
save your life
save
and
your bank
like,
account, save
yeah.
all of you. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't
Yeah.
want that. So yeah, that would be yellow, and then red is like they don't get results and they don't stick around. Yeah, that would be
That's
another
definitely
thing.
another one. We
Over deliver.
1,000,000% have done that.
So that would be like a yellow situation.
Yep.
Yep.
Awesome. This is good. All right. Number one thing that we hear of what's holding you back from really getting the results that you want. Can you guess? It's me. It's all me. Right? So this is a piece that we have done some reformulating and really bringing in, like, when you do what you love in the service, like the stuff that I love in the service of people who love what you do. But ultimately, you can have the attraction, you can have the enrollment, but if you're over delivering, you're creating content, you're creating a movement, you're holding the space for your clients, you're doing all these things, and then what happens if you don't have this performance piece? You start burning out, or you don't get centered. Like, it's enough is enough. I can't handle this anymore. So ultimately, in order to be in complete performance, to be able to hold the space to be able to attract, to be able to enroll, to build the wealth, to have the impact, to have the freedom, to fulfill on your calling, like, it takes something, right? And I'm not going to buttercup it up that it is easy and flow all the time and everything is great and hunky-dory and you're in alignment. Alignment is great. That doesn't mean ease doesn't mean easy, right? And so having these tools and really having the space of being in performance without hustling, because there's a difference, right? We can hustle our face off, or we can be in performance with purpose. So,
Oh, sorry, go ahead. Wait, what is this one?
So first things first in the performance is really your nervous system regulation. Right. We do not want stressed out coaches. We do not want people who are so filled with anxiety, they don't know how to, like, oh, I got this and this and this and this, right? And of course we're gonna get to that place, but it's having the tools. There are two people who have ever seen me really stressed out, and that is my husband and Afia. That's it. Because I have the tools of like, okay, I have my safe people, but I have the tools and now I can get back into my nervous system regulation. It is literally one of the most important pieces to building your business is learning how your nervous system works and being able to regulate it so you can come from a place of coherence within yourself, right? So when you have the stress, you have the worry, you have the doubt, you have all of the emotions and the things that are going on, literally, and we've done, there's been studies that have shown your heart goes, you can't fully focus, you can't really be in your authenticity, and you can't show up in your full power. But when you have the nervous system regulation, you have you know how to balance yourself, you know how to come back into coherence. Like you can literally see the charts of the heart. Your literal heart rate variability is you're healthier overall because you have your nervous system regulation. Our nervous system holds every single story and thing that we've ever gone through. So when we learn how to regulate our nervous system, we learn how to reprogram the things that are stored within our body and our nervous system, we can literally create an entire new way of being, which is going to create an entire new way of results in your life. So, but there may be a little passion in this subject for me.
Okay.
So rating yourself on your nervous system regulation, this is what this would look like. If you are a green, you have the tools as soon as you feel like the stress or the anxiety or the worry, maybe you aren't getting the results that you want. You know, green is like, you can call your safe person. You can go, you know, within yourself. Maybe it's a walk, maybe it's the breath work, it's the different things. And you know how to, when you feel or see something that is limiting you, you know how to reprogram your nervous system for lasting results. That would be a green. Because I think this is a lot more than just like, go breathe and take a walk in the woods and then you're good. If you are yellow, you're like, oh, yes, got it. You know, I have my modalities, I have my tools, you know, and I'm still kind of freaking out. Just don't tell anybody because I don't want anyone to think that there's something wrong with me. But you know that you know, right? And if you are red, it's just like breakdown after breakdown on the floor, and you can pick yourself back up because I believe coaches, like we are a special breed of people who are determined and work within ourselves to stand up again. So that you would be red is like, it's gonna take you a bit. I gotta process through my things that I gotta process. I may be down a week, maybe a month, but I'm gonna get back up, and there's no wrong here, right? So I love that.
Awesome.
So go ahead.
Nope, go ahead.
So this next piece is really, we call it the unstoppable equation. So do we want to share what the unstoppable equation is ultimately, you know, if you had a formula in your life to be able to always reach the goals of what it is that you want, the unstoppable equation is like you equals the goal that it is that you want. So let's say you're out to make six figures, multi six figures in your coaching business. You're out to make an impact with people. Maybe that's 10 clients, maybe that's 20 clients. There's a few things to look at here that's going to get you these clients.
Do you want to draw? Do you want to put it out?
Yeah, sure. So if we say unstoppable equals, I'm going to literally give you a math equation here. So in order to do the thing, you need to have the skills. So S for skills, right? We all need skills. And you can look at this equation and you can see like, okay, what is it? What am I missing here? So skills plus doing the work, because it's going to take action, plus focus. So when you have the skills, and this is most business coaches will tell you, you have the skills, you have the work and the focus, you will reach your goals. Yeah, performance. However, there's a missing piece here. I don't know how to. Okay.
Do a line.
There we go. There's a missing piece that people do not talk about. And these are allergies and addictions. So if you have the skills and you've invested in yourself and you're doing the work, you're doing all the things. I have all of these things and I'm going out there and I'm doing it. If you have the focus, like you got the vision, you're doing the work, you'd think that you're getting the results that you want, but there's something there of why you're not getting them. And this is where the allergies and the addictions come in. So the allergies and addictions, if you think about when you are allergic to something, you're like, no, I'm allergic to cats, get them away from me. Right. Well, we have these stories and stuff built within, they're in literally at a cellular level in our body. So if you have an allergy of, an allergy is literally the things that you want, if you're not getting them, you have an allergy to them somewhere in your body. Some like it can be a completely unconscious thing. But if you are like energetically, you are pushing that thing away, or you have an addiction to something, right? And this takes like some real for real, let's get honest with ourselves kind of things. And sometimes we don't have to name them. We don't have to call them out. There's a way that we can clear them through different types of techniques, like through cellular alignment and through somatic work. But then addiction is like, I need this. Like, right? And I'm sure you guys all know of people of like, they're in this addiction of chaos. There's this addiction of stress. There's an addiction of some sort of behavior and way of being that if they just stop doing that, they get different results. And again, there's nothing right or wrong here because every single person, I don't care who, I have them, Chad has them, we all have them, Charlie's getting them. Like they're a part of our life that, what matters is recognizing that if you're doing all of the work, you're focusing in, you have the skill set, logically, you would think that you should be getting the result now. There is 99% of the time either an allergy or an addiction that is causing this to not happen. Or if you are not getting the skills, like I'm doing all of this stuff and it's just not landing for me, an allergy or addiction could be here. Or it could be like, I can't focus. Like you don't understand. I've got ADD. I'm all over the place. I got to do this and this and this and this and this. Allergies and addiction somewhere. Right. So the unstoppable equation is being able to find and clear at a cellular level and completely reprogram at a cellular level. This is more than just, this is nervous system, this is subconscious, this is cellular work that we do here that brings the attraction and the enrollment all together. So being able to clear these allergies and addictions in your life. So what does this look like?
So go ahead and definitely rate yourself. So green, what
Pretty
the
sure I
green
got
look like?
some in this area. Yeah, everybody does, right? It's one of those things that, and at every level, billionaires have allergies and addiction. So green looks like you can like, hey, I have some sort of something is going on here energetically or within my body. I have the tools to be able to do this. I'm gonna, be in the internal work. I'm gonna call these out. I'm gonna reprogram my body at a cellular level using, I have a particular technique that we use, but here they are. I'm completely remapping and reprogramming an entire new way of being. Yellow is a you're doing the things, this is a good way to gauge this too, is even if you have the tools or not, is like if you're doing all of the things and things are working, you're probably a green. If you are doing all of the things and you have this, but they're like working sometimes or not at the level that you want them to, there's probably a yellowish going on. And if you are red, you are doing all of the things and like it's not working and you don't know why. Like logically things should be working. Then that would be a red. And there's nothing ever wrong. Red is actually a very freeing color of like, oh, I know. So rating yourself red, yellow, or green here. Awesome. And then this last piece is the energetics. We can give you all the strategies. We can give you all the tactics. We can give you all of the things to go do. And if you go and do them and you're like, I hate this, this sucks. Oh man, my mom is driving me crazy here. My kids, like, why can't they just leave me alone? Like, and it's like, there's an energetics behind everything. And there's an energetics even, so I've studied the Akashic records for over 8 years now. And there's an energetic alignment of things. When you have you know, we each have different soul gifts. If you are not in alignment with your soul gifts, your energetics will be off. You are not in your purpose. Like things become very, even more challenging. If you are doing the things, if you have your financial intention is to hit like consistent $20,000 months or $30,000 months, and there's something in the energetic side of things that may be blocking that. So all of these are kind of put together, but they're all separate at the same time, but ultimately they affect your performance. And you definitely need the energetics, having yourself at a cellular level, being able to regulate your nervous system so that you can hold the space to enroll clients, to be able to give your, I don't want to say give your all to your clients, but give your very best to your clients so that they have success, that you are, you know, having these creative ideas within your marketing, and that marketing can even be fun for you, right?
Yeah, so Jasmina said like, don't tell me about marketing, right? Well, that's like there's an energetics around marketing there.
And how you feel about marketing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So ultimately, we want all of these in alignment.
Mm-hmm.
And when you have these ultimately, each piece of these is an activator, and you being able to fulfill on that calling, to build the wealth that you know that you're here for, to have the impact that you know that you're here for, and to be able to have the freedom, which will allow you to do the whole thing.
So, this is a Q&A, so we want to have people ask questions. So, who wants to jump out and ask any questions about what we got going on here?
Anything that you've been discovering for yourself through this, questions that you have around this, how can we support you?
There's always like that
Like,
delay.
So if nobody else is going to jump in right at the moment, I do have a question. First of all, I love you guys. You are wonderful, wonderful, and I love how you put this together. My question is about the unstoppable equation. So if you could clarify some of that. So I get it. The way I'm interpreting it is the unstoppable equation is basically your momentum. Like how are you able to move forward without there being something holding you back? The way I am taking this in is your skills equate to your work ethic and your focus. And then the only things that stop you are like your allergies or addictions to stuff. But can you maybe
Yeah.
clarify that a little bit more?
So ultimately, with the math situation, if you look at that, it's like
Yeah, my
work
math is
plus
not
focus.
mathing right now.
Yeah, work plus focus. So it's like you do the work and you have the focus, right? Those are two things adding up. Everybody knows that. But then it's multiplied by the skills that you have in the areas. So depending on your skills is how you multiply your work and focus. Then it's divided by your allergies and addictions. So if you say we have an output, right? And this say these were like numbers. So you have like a 7 work and a 3 focus and a 10 skills. So now you have 100 up here, right?
So you're
Then
putting 100% in.
you're putting 100% in. But then you have your allergies and addictions, and this might be 20, and this might be 10. And so now it's 100 divided by 30. So now
The results that you're getting are
is a 3.
Yeah. Did that math?
Okay, it's mathing now. Thank you guys.
You're welcome. Awesome. Anybody else have any questions about any of this?
Or anything that you're discovering.
Mm-hmm.
What are you discovering from this conversation?
Yeah. Can I say something and ask?
Yeah.
One of my allergies, just to share, because this was a topic now, was, and was unconscious. I became aware of it just a few months ago, was I woke up, and I was stiff, I noticed that I'm like this. I just woke up. I should be like very relaxed. Like, what the hell is going on? And then I was searching and like, okay, is this, that? And it was the minute I woke up, I was like, oh, today I have to do this and this and this. And this I have to's, must, were such a strong allergies within me of anything, not just work, anything. And I was like, how about to just let go of what I have to and go to the term of what I choose to? What would I choose to do today? That brought so much freedom in my life.
Well,
That was just one of the examples. Yeah.
Yeah, so the I have to's are definitely addictions. We're addicted to the I have to, right? And so we get to clear that on a cellular level and be able to get that completely out of your world. So
Yeah. But I have a question connected to, from attraction system to enrollment system.
Mhm.
When we mentioned that, you also mentioned strong offer. What is a strong offer?
Yeah, so it's part of the true north because it's like you have a program, but if you don't, and this is where a lot of people mess up. Hopefully I didn't lose this. Okay, good. Is they might have a program, but it's not framed in a way that communicates the value that they're going to get. And it's like people get like logical or very matter of fact with what they're going to get, or it's just not it's not like strong. So the idea of like having an amazing offer is like I communicate to you, this is what you are going to get, and you're like, holy crap, this is powerful. I need this. And the big thing is like you don't want your offer to be a trade time for dollar situation. So if you are doing 12 sessions or for 12 weeks and it is $3,000 and that's what you offer. And so now you just did the math. Okay, that is I think it's 200, whatever the math is like, okay, they're exchanging $200 for your hour. And when that happens, people would start going, oh, like, are they worth $200? And what you want to do is you want to package something in a way that communicates this result that they're going to get. Now, when you get to a result-based offer, then they can go, oh, okay, it's $3,000 or $6,000 or whatever to get this specific result. Definitely worth it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Although I know in the past, when I actually put what I can get, they were like, I don't believe I can get that. Because it's
Yeah.
really big. It was big value, like, hey, you want this and you're gonna get even more. And this is, from my experience or experience from my past clients. They're like,
This is why
no, it's not
testimonials.
possible. I don't believe that. Like, what?
Yeah. So this is why testimonials are so important and case studies of showing like the results that you've gotten for past clients. So then I'm curious who here got to see the video, waiting in the waiting room. Wasn't that cool, Sherry? We had a testimonial. I don't know if you guys know this, but you can put a video in your waiting room so people can watch a video. It is really cool. So now everybody can watch a testimonial video before they can get on the call with us.
I think it's really powerful that that people have that objection, right? So I think the most common objections is like money, of course, time, and will this work for me? Right? Those are like the three main things that you get to cover so is it content? Is it like when you're doing a masterclass or something, like how can you cover these objections in your marketing before that ever is even a thing in their mind? Because it's coming. Everyone was like, okay, this is great, but how is this going to work for me?
Yeah.
Or will this work for me?
Right. So it's really being able to handle all of those objections before you're on a call with somebody. you want to create your marketing in a way that has that all taken care of. So when they get on a call, they're like, I know that you're the person for me. I know I can get this result. Now, how does this work? That's what you want. And when you create really good processes and you have that client attraction process and the client enrollment process, all those objections are out of the way. And then another thing is the offer. You can actually put things in your offer to handle objections. So if they're, I know for health coaches, they're like the easiest one, but it's like, um, I don't know, I travel a lot, so I don't know if I can keep doing this. Okay, well, I have a travel guide on how to still lose weight even if you're traveling. And that becomes part of the offer. How can you create things in the offer that handles objections? Um, Jasmine, if you want support around this, I dropped a link in the chat if you want to book a call. Awesome. All right. Any other questions?
Awesome.
I have a question.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Come on out.
Can there be a program set up around the 21-day reset program? Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
How
we're
much
gonna-
are you
That's hard.
charging for it right now?
Well, to be honest with you, I'm not doing any coaching at all. Just on my face, I'm just doing my baking business, which is a passion of mine. But through that and just through my daily life, I seem to inspire others. And so I've had recently 3 lady friends reach out saying, it's really imperative that I start taking care of my health, and you inspire me. And so I know that I have I know that what it is that how I'm operating my life, if you will, living my life, trying to live it freedomly in the best, most healthiest way, and honoring myself and my passions like baking. But I know that I don't want to run a baking business that's like full on, so I've been trying to think, how can I recreate that? So I thought, I could recreate it and run my business 7 months out of the year, and then I could travel 4 months out of the year, 4 or 5 months out of the year, and then find what perhaps my calling is that way, how I can serve and bring joy to others as I'm traveling. I really love the cultural aspects of it. And
Yeah, Jay, reach out.
so since these ladies have reached out, and I continue to be nudged by you guys, I just wonder if it's something that is part of my calling, is to at least introduce women or gentlemen, whoever, about resetting their body, about eating healthy, because I'm really passionate about that. I'm really passionate about no sugar and no processed foods, and just listening to what our body needs. I could go on about it. So but then there's this part of me that always has felt like, as a coach, I want it to be one-on-one, but maybe there's a simpler way, because it seems like living across Canada, the time zones and stuff like that can be so difficult to meet up, at the same time because of the different time zones. So just, having a program that someone can operate, I guess, at their own time, but yet offering, I guess, one-on-one coaching as well. I don't know. I guess that's what I need to figure out.
That becomes like a whole art in deciding what you really want to do. And if you want support with that, book a call and we can have a conversation.
Okay.
The thing is just choosing which direction that you're going to go and just go, right?
And I think
Yeah.
we could absolutely create a program around that.
Yeah, and then the baking, like we have one client, she has a really large following on TikTok, and she like when she does her lives, she cooks. And so people love watching the lives and watching her cook. And so it's like a part of your brand.
Yeah, I wanna, I've been challenged to like do a video by the 15th of April by one of my friends, because she really thinks I need to, honor that too. So yeah, so I want to do that because it is part of my brand of teaching people how they can do this. And I have really great steps of how to be in the kitchen that can make it more efficient and effective. And, maybe not so messy if those think, oh, using measuring cups, like just, just so many things that I can show them different ways, and then just different products that are just healthier to use, and why I would invest in a $5 bag of baking soda as opposed to a 99-cent box of baking soda. So
yeah, I think that would be great. It sounds like it could be really fun for you too.
I'd like to change it a bit because I want to teach people. I guess it's more about teaching people how to do it themselves. There's a cookbook that I've been, has also been something that I've been thought of doing to add to that as well.
Yeah, so the thing is though, is like a lot of people aren't going, so there's people that'll do it themselves, like us. We're weirdos. We make our own protein
Yeah.
donuts. I've been making my own coconut milk, which is
Yeah.
amazing. It's that's like that's for me. I'll implement that stuff. I'll do it. But some people want the support and the guidance, and then those people will hire you.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm finding that that there could be a lot of people that are wanting that. So, okay. Well, I just want to say I appreciate you guys, and I appreciate the nudges and stuff. And I appreciate what you guys are doing. And so I will book a call, and then maybe just I can get a better idea of what that looks like. And and then go from there.
Awesome.
Sounds great.
Laura, did you get a clear vision of what you were here for? Just want to make sure. And Pan, was this valuable? Yes. Awesome. Did you have any questions?
Yes, man.
Awesome.
No, not really, but I just love you guys and the work that you're doing. So I'm glad to be here.
Awesome.
All right. Well, we are here to
Sherry, you got
guys.
anything? Okay. Awesome. Appreciate y'all. Go ahead and book a call. I can't it disappears when I end the thing. So
We'll talk to you guys soon. Thank you so much. And I'm glad that you guys got a lot out of today. And we'll see you next time.